That's so funny because shocked is exactly what he said he was. When I decided that I was going to tell him that I wanted a divorce, I texted my therapist, our marriage counselor, and I was like, I need to tell him that I want a divorce, but I want to do it in a session so that there's like a mediator present.
Now there are two of them.
What chance does a man have when he's up against an angry wife who wants to take control of the divorce and is flanked with backup?
Not a chance.
I'll bust his balls.
Got us in like ASAP, like 2 days later. And I walked in knowing that I was going to ask for a divorce. And so we sit down in our session. It's like really tense, really awkward. My ex was sitting there like, so why do we have an emergency session? The therapist was like, Jamie, do you want to start? And I just started crying and I was like, I want a divorce. You know, it's hard for me to like say the words. I was like, I'm done. I want a divorce.
So this sounds conclusive. She wants a divorce. That's all there is to it. Or is there a twist?
He sat there quiet. I'm sitting next to him crying. He didn't move. He didn't look at me. He didn't react at all. He just was stone cold.
I'm touching myself tonight.
He has to be given credit for acting stone cold. A non-reactive masculine man is characterized by calm and measured responses rather than impulsive reactions. Because being asked for a divorce is definitely something that would mindfuck a lesser man and cause him to act emotionally. Specifically, he might become angry or start to beg and plead.
You keep begging and pleading and, I just need you, and just salivating at the mouth and shit. That's harassment. When you're cute, that's yearning. That's, working for it. That's being passionate.
It's at this point, his emotionality might be used to lambast or belittle him. This kicking him when he's down isn't uncommon when a man over-emotes. After all, modern women, broadly speaking of course, feel nothing but disgust for what they'll almost certainly view as weakness or inferior neediness.
And eventually our therapist was like, would you like to respond?
Bruh.
So he responded right away and he's like, fine, let's just go ahead and finalize the details.
Nice. My man. Yeah.
Maybe he's a natural stoic or consciously identifies with stoic principles, because the core concept in stoicism is the dichotomy of control, which emphasizes that you can't control external events or the actions of others, but you can control your own thoughts, judgments, and reactions. There's only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. In this case, Plan A never worked. So he's went straight into calmly executing Plan B. To my mind, it also seems clear he knows that uncontrollable anger in this situation will merely wreak havoc on his life, and that destructive anger makes a person stupid and more inclined to say and do things they later regret, so he's acted in the best way possible, given that his family unit has just been destroyed.
It's funny, I interviewed a brain surgeon who'd done over 1,000 brain surgeries and studied the brain. And he's also a PhD in neuroscience. So he studies the mind and thoughts, and he was a brain surgeon. And I said, what's the number one skill you feel like human beings should learn to master? And his answer was beautiful. He said emotional regulation. I was like, I 100% agree. Because if we don't have the power to regulate our feelings around a situation, an environment, something that happens, an event, then that event has power over us as opposed to us over that moment.
Oh my God! What a masterpiece!
Never let a lack of emotional regulation distract you from your mission. As Marcus Aurelius noted,
a real man doesn't give way to anger and discontent, and such a person has strength, courage, and endurance, unlike the angry and complaining. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength.
And that was that. And I just was like, I looked at my therapist and I was just like kind of stunned. Like I knew that I was ready to leave that day, but I couldn't believe that that was his reaction. There was no empathy, there was no compassion, there was no like wanting to fight for us, which I didn't think that there would be, but you just always hope that like one last try,
Nom, nom, nom.
Did she show empathy and compassion when she decided she wanted to end the marriage in front of an audience?
Not really. No.
Did she show any signs of wanting to fight for the relationship after asking for a divorce? Well, actually she did.
But you just always hope that like one last try,
However, it was too late. He called her bluff. Nevertheless, what she said is noteworthy because I believe she's unknowingly executed a form of dread game.
Here's a Google AI description of dread.
The term dread game in dating refers to a strategy some people use to create a sense of urgency or fear of loss in a romantic relationship. It typically involves behaviors that are designed to make a partner feel that they might lose the person employing the strategy if they don't act or commit in certain ways.
In this situation, she asks her husband for a divorce.
I want a divorce. I'm done. I want a divorce.
A divorce she doesn't truly want.
But you just always hope that like one last try,
So her dread game strategy has been to ask for the divorce, to make it clear she means business, then have him fight for the marriage so that the divorce isn't necessary. However, the only way she'd allow the marriage to continue would be if he agreed to act or commit in certain ways. At this point, the looming threat of an actual divorce would be akin to a permanent relationship sword of Damocles over her husband's head, a sword that might fall at any time should he step out of line.
We went home that night. We didn't speak. He slept on the couch. I woke up and went to work the next day. Came home. He was playing PlayStation that night.
And we all know what most ladies think about this.
I don't know, there's something a little bit childlike about it, a grown man to be playing games, and it is a huge turn off for me. As soon as I saw the gaming console, and I guess it wasn't really my type of guy.
I'm a game and level designer by profession, so I have a lot to say on this in a future video.
Perfect.
It's an interesting topic in the manosphere, in particular, due to video games being so divisive an activity.
Now, where to tomorrow?
I sat next to him. We hadn't talked in 24 hours. And I said, can we talk about what happened yesterday?
Nom, nom, nom.
And he was just playing, just looking straight ahead. And he was like, what's to talk about? In my mind, I'm thinking,
Oh my God!
this is our last ditch effort to like steer the ship around,
You can't steer a ship around when the captain is on a solipsistic path to ruin. And make no mistake, she is the captain in a marriage, unless you're able to maintain a positive net value.
Outfits girls hate. Outfits girls like.
Okay.
Romantic relationships can be viewed as a form of social exchange where people seek to maximize rewards and minimize costs. This perspective is grounded in social exchange theory, which posits that relationships are formed and maintained based on the perceived benefits and costs associated with them.
Reason number 86 why I love men. When you're shopping online and they ask you, oh, what are you looking for? What are you trying to buy?
Shake it, baby.
You must be new here. What am I trying to buy? Everything. I'm trying to buy everything. Don't ask me that question. I'm just browsing. I don't have a goal. It's just the feeling of filling up my cart even if I purchase it or not. I probably will purchase it though. Sign me that card. Where's your wallet? Leave me alone.
It's a trap.
And I was like, so what are we gonna do? And he just kept playing and he was like, I already got an apartment. I already took my name off of the lease. He had done things within that 24 hours. He had opened up the filing folder of his single man life and went ahead and got all the shit done.
KO.
So it was like within a couple days he moved out. It was right before Christmas. And it actually did release all the tension from us. I mean, we sat down and had a talk with our daughter and we were in agreement and we said, Mommy and Daddy think that we would be better parents to you if we didn't live in the same house. And she was kind of like, okay.
Just because the child says she's okay with this, it doesn't mean it's a net positive that her father has been removed from the home. Among other things, Teens without involved fathers are twice as likely to drop out of school. Girls raised in fatherless homes are more than twice as likely to become pregnant before the age of 18. And teens from single-parent households are more likely to engage in delinquent behavior compared to those from two-parent households. I'll leave some facts on screen, highlighting many of the other problems.
Subverting the patriarchy.
Okay, let's head out. Can I hold your hand? Can mommy hold your hand? Can mommy hold your hand? Hey, mama's talking to you. Legacy. Can I hold your? Hey, running for.
Tighten up. When your mama say hold her hand, hold her hand. Not my hand, your mama. Go hold her hand. Now. Go hold her hand. Hold it. Hold it. Hey. Hold her hand. Hold her hand.
Thank you. Go get daddy a kiss. Go get daddy a kiss and hug. Go get daddy a kiss.
Listen, I ain't playing with you.
There's approximately 8 billion people in the world, and only one of those 8 billion is qualified to be this child's father.
Overall, it was the best decision that we both ever made. We're both much happier now, but yeah, he says he was shocked, but let's be honest.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Yes, let's be honest, we still don't know exactly why she wanted the divorce. But fortunately, there's a second video explaining this.
About 6 months before I filed for divorce, Anthony Bourdain passed away. I have always been a huge fan of his. I have all of his books. I always joke that he was the first relationship that I've ever been in, and anybody that comes after him is just fluff. And I just had this visceral reaction. I've never had this type of reaction to a celebrity death before, but I instantly shrieked and burst into tears.
For those who don't know, Anthony Bourdain is the man in the background footage and was a celebrity chef.
So in this moment where I really wanted a partner to be supportive of me going through something, you expect them to be like, oh my God, what's wrong? Are you okay? And at first he did say, what's wrong? And then when I told him, oh my God, Anthony Bourdain died, he was like, okay. And the way he kind of just brushed my feelings aside and never really thought about the fact that he's known me for 10 years at this point. He knows that that's somebody that I really care about. Instead, he was really trying to push my emotional reaction down because it made him uncomfortable. And that night, we ended up having a counseling session because we were already in marriage counseling at this point. And I brought it up and I just said, you know, this was a really small example of how I don't feel seen, heard, or understood. And it was 6 months later that I asked for a divorce because, of course, it never got better.
No out of touch, I'm out of time. That's not enough, happening not alright.
And I can look back now and say we were just a really bad match, but it was that moment that let me think about the rest of my marriage up until that point and how he was never available for me emotionally. And I was always too much. So that's why I got divorced.
As we see here, a celebrity chef passing away has directly contributed to her getting a divorce. And this is because being highly emotional makes it difficult to manage external stressors, since emotional instability often leads to fluctuations in mood and a person's mental state. This heightened sensitivity has led to her feelings of overwhelm, which would no doubt require a lot of bandwidth for her husband to manage. Emotional vulnerability will always take its toll on a relationship, because it's a frustrating, stressful, and fatiguing thing to have to contend with on a daily basis. In summary, I could talk about egocentricity, solipsism, hypergamy, and Briffault's law, all of which contribute to the little princess syndrome we might be seeing here. Is she the main character in her movie? I think it's a definite possibility. Her husband and daughter, at least from this video, are akin to cardboard cutouts, because she appears to be heavily prioritizing her own happiness and emotions over all else. So, unfortunately, the husband's found himself in a marriage where he's set up to lose.
Fuck.
But this is the problem. What if you don't even know what the warning signs or indicators of potential relationship issues are, where a woman might be considered high risk? How can a man mitigate the likelihood of divorce and better ensure he selects a woman who's more marriageable? After all, ignoring the importance of effective vetting can lead to divorce, and arguably worse, zero return on your investment of time or resources. Here's what I personally view as the 5 most important things to consider.
Okay, let's do this. I'm just saying, Dolph, being a rebel outlaw means adapting to circumstance.
First would be that she's emotionally stable, because it's close to impossible to maintain a relationship with a needy and an emotional wreck. Second would be that she's trustworthy, that she's able to be relied on as honest or truthful, because without loyalty, you'll have nothing. Third would be for her to be cooperative. There's not much explanation needed here, but being agreeable, supportive, and an active contributor to your goals will put her ahead of most women. Fourth would be virtue, or that she's sexually serious, because promiscuity isn't conducive to a long-term relationship. Finally, it would be her values, since without the same values or worldview, the relationship is guaranteed to fail. Here's some TikToks pertaining to what we've seen in this video.
I don't care what any baby mama say. Having to raise your kids by yourself is not a flex, and this is coming from a single mother. Listen to your sister. Don't let any baby mama deceive you into believing that being a single mother is more convenient than being a wife.
Men, the most important decision you will ever make in your life is not who you marry. It's not your job. None of that. It's who you have a baby with.
You guys know that there's a trend encouraging men to all get passports and travel abroad.
Let's go to Thailand. There's so many puss over there.
No.
If you want. What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.